Lincoln from Fast Fuel Motorcycles. Today we're here to show you how to do an oil and filter change on your Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. So what do you reckon, Tex?
Let's get into it, Dad.
Firstly, if your bike's not already hot, warm her up on the bench or take her for a short ride. You want to give it at least probably 5 minutes to run. If you put your hand on the engine, it should be nice and warm. Moving underneath the bike, you've got these two 5mm Allen heads on your sump guard. You want to undo them. Then pull the sump guard down and forward off its locator at the back. Give it a bit of a tug as it'll get stuck on the vent pipe that runs through it, which I'll show you when you put it back on. Keep in mind this is not the sump plug, it looks like a sump plug, don't pull it out. You'll find your two sump plugs on the left hand side of the bike just behind your gear lever. 17mm hex heads, two of. You want to undo the front one first. Drop him in the oil tray. Now the rear one is going to have a lot more oil come out of it, so it'll sort of shoot out a fair old stream. So you want to actually hold the oil pan up and capture that oil stream, as it's a little bit in a bit of an awkward spot with your center stand. When we do these bikes in the shop, we actually don't use the center stand, but we're doing the video on the center stand, so it's more realistic for you at home. So see, you won't be able to put the oil tray down flat and catch that oil, so you just got to sort of nurse it until the stream backs off a little bit, and then you'll be able to sit your oil tray down on the ground and catch the remaining oil. Just like that. Next, if we zoom in there, you want to pull out your oil screens. Pointy nose pliers. Give them a pull. And they'll pop out easy enough. You come around, undo your filler plug and remove it. Sit him on the bench with your strainers. Alright, on the right hand side of the bike, we just want to stick a bit of cardboard in between your exhaust and your crankcase just to stop the oil hitting the exhaust. Undo your oil filter cap with a 14mm Allen key. Make sure you point that cardboard towards your drain tray. Pull out your oil filter. Throw them in the bin. Give it a bit of a wipe in there. Right, and then you want to give your strainers a wipe. Make sure you give those magnets a really nice wipe. Make sure there's no metal on them when they go back in. Some plugs, just remove your old O-rings. Give them a bit of a wipe down. You don't have to replace these O-rings, but it's definitely best practice. And if you don't order them and you put it back in, you get a leak, you'll be kicking yourself if you didn't order new ones. So just always put new ones on is the best practice, but you can get away without it. Now you want to grab some engine oil and prime your oil filter. So just tip it in until it's full. And then turn him on his side, rotate him. You'll see there's little wet bits on the filter, which is what you want. Put him in. You'll see it'll have a seal on the other side of it there. That's the way in. Seal in. And you got your cap. Make sure your O-ring's in its groove. Make sure your spring's in there. Start him with your hand, and then you want to do him up again with the 14mm Allen key to 22 Newton meters. Click. Remove your bit of cardboard. Give it all a nice wipe. Right, now we're going to put our strainers back in. They have a nice little pop when you get them just right. They can be a little bit awkward. Make sure you've got a bit of lube on the O-rings. And you might just have to have a twist and a shake and a fiddle, but you will definitely feel when they go home. You're definitely going to want to make sure they go home. Just a little bit fiddly. There we go. Some plugs, bit of oil on them, on the O-rings for lube. 14 Newton meters for both. Again, oil on that O-ring to lube it a little bit. 14 Newton meters. And when you're done here, make sure you give it a wipe. You want to actually be able to see if it's leaking, not just leftover oil. On this pan tray here, you'll see that is the slot for the vent tube, and that is the locator into the frame. So your vent tube slots in there, which is what makes it a little bit difficult to get off at the start. And then, yeah, slot your locator into the frame. Alright, so swing him up, make sure your holes line up, put your Allen keys back in. Do them up to 10 Newton meters, as I'm doing here with my torque wrench. It's important now the bike stays on the centre stand, as all oil adjustments and checks are made with the bike on the centre stand. Right, now we want to start filling up the oil while keeping an eye on your sight glass down here. So the aim of the game at the moment is just to get that sight glass to the top, which should take about 2 litres. You can go right to the top of that sight glass if you wish. And then once you're up there, put your filler cap lid back on. Start your bike, and you want to let it run now on the bench for 2 minutes. Alright, now you may not have any oil on this sight glass now once you've shut your bike down. That's okay, do not panic, it's the way it's supposed to be. So undo your filler cap. Start adding your oil. Now it should only probably take 100, 200 mil. Now we're getting that oil level right to the top of our full line there. It's easier to add oil than remove it, trust me. Filler cap back on. Rightio, now clean up the mess you've made, go for a 10-minute ride, come back, double check that oil level, check for weeps and seeps around that oil filter and the drain plugs. In the description below, we've got a link to our Royal Enfield 450 Himalayan service kit, so check that out. Otherwise, take it away, Taxi Boy.
Thank you for watching our video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.